We are going through the next industrial revolution right now. This is the tech that, and that's what I try to get my point across to people, and I don't think they understand that sometimes, is that we are going through the next industrial revolution. It's just going to be in digital now, right? The next industrial revolution is data. Data is the new oil. We've talked about this. It's tech. So it would align with this thesis of shifting world powers primarily around these industrial revolutions. And that is going on right now. It also aligns with the change in the reserve currency and the monetary system. That usually all gets changed up with a change in world power, typically from an industrial revolution. And the industrial revolution, like, people are stuck in their head with the last one with like Rockefeller and stuff. But like, if you look before that, there was industrial revolutions. They weren't industrial, but they were new technologies that disrupted society as in itself, right? And that was a revolution that changed business, the economy from there on out. The internet is just that. We've only been in this experiment arguably since maybe the mid 2000s, once tech platforms, everything started getting really good. So
after the dot-com bubble.
And that's what I try to paint the picture to people with wealth transfers too. Wealth transfers typically take place only during these periods, during these industrial revolutions. That's why John Rockefeller was able to get so wealthy off of the last one. And so was Carnegie, and so was all of these guys, because there was an industrial revolution that was going on. They were able to form a business around that new resource, right? Oil, steel, that made oil, allowed machinery to make steel better and everything, right? And there was a massive wealth transfer that happened with that. We are going through the same thing right now. That's why when I do preach about like cryptos or Bitcoin or Monero, trying to get people in a future mindset, a long-term mindset, is that you have to realize that these are not just currencies. These are protocols. They are pieces of technology that will be built on top of, and they will be the only things used in a fully tech world, because that's the only money you can use in that world. You can't use the dollar because it's not programmable. You need programmable money. So when I talk about the wealth transfer that will happen now, I'm talking about the fact that there's a scarce item like gold, right? Bitcoin, Monero, whatever crypto that exists that is used, it's scarce as long as there's a fixed supply. And we don't see it now, but 25 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, when we've passed that tech revolution, when we're in it, we're fully engulfed in it, everything we do, I think we're going to look back and we're going to be like, holy shit, these currencies and these systems that we thought we knew the value to before, we had no idea how big of a deal it actually was. Because it's not until you're spending micro satoshis to freaking go open your hotel door room or turn your lights on for a certain amount of time, or like, pay tolls and stuff, that you realize how much people have to spend this stuff in order to operate in that system. And it all comes down to the shift and the revolution. Like, this is the resource that fuels the actual technology and platforms that will live online in the digital revolution, in the digital world. And I think that's why China is so big on crypto mining. And I think that's why Xi Jinping, as a smart man, says that China will become a leader in blockchain technologies. That's what I would tell the US right now. You want to stay competitive? You have to digitize the dollar. You have to either you do that, or you're like Putin, where you understand these technologies and you're like, we may not waste our time even creating a Putin dollar, because we know that that's not going to stand at the end of the day, right? So you have to go digital with the currency, and we have to really loosen the laws, man. And that's the problem with the U.S. just being a dinosaur, is that the reason why we were able to be the leaders in tech is because we had light laws and we allowed entrepreneurs and innovators to be creative and innovate, and we funded that innovation, and Silicon Valley really came out of that, right? But look at us right now, especially in the blockchain industry. People are not starting businesses in America because it's too complex, it's too complicated. I don't want to deal with the laws and everything. They're going to Malta, they're going to China, they're going to France. They're mostly going to Europe right now, a lot in France and stuff. So, I think we're just witnessing history. Like, I really think we're just watching a repeat of what has happened.